Hi, everybody. So anybody who knows me knows that I love meeting people. I love meeting new friends. I love getting together with friends. I love making connections, genuine, true connections. So I thought it was important, if I am going to encourage you on your journey of making 2022 the year of you, and I have encouraged you in setting some goals, I want to have you think about expanding your community a little bit, other than just the people who you know currently. And so the importance of doing this, it can help you personally as well as professionally. I'm going to give you one example that I think is a really good example of meeting somebody and then having that turn into meeting other people. So I attended a conference. It was a branding conference in Round Top, Texas. I was able to meet Alyssa Rosenheck and Shay McGee. And if you don't know those two phenomenal ladies, you should. So at that conference, or that little session, I got to know both of those ladies a little bit more. It was a pretty intimate setting. Alyssa shared with everybody that she was going to be writing a book. So after her book came out, I contacted her, and we were in contact prior to just her book coming out because she's one of my favorites to follow on social media. But I reached out to her, and because we already had met each other, she was willing to do my podcast. So from that, she had an event in Tulsa, and I attended that event specifically to go see her because she's such a light and such a joy to be around. But it was a book signing event. It was at a really cool place in Tulsa. I think you guys have heard me talk about T.A. Lorton, getting to see Alyssa, getting to hear her speak. Well, through that event, I ended up meeting Amy Siegfried. And that was something that was pretty organic. We were both at the same event. We both live in Tulsa. And come to find out, Amy also has a podcast. And it's called Sports Curious. Her company is called Last Night's Game. And it's just awesome because now I've reached out and am going to be interviewing Amy for my podcast. So through attending something, making connections, following up, making more connections, I have gotten to know two phenomenal people who are now in my circle of friends. So it really helps to branch out and do some things that maybe you normally wouldn't do. And when you think about it, there are so many reasons why it's good to surround yourself with good people. You probably heard the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, to a certain extent, that is true. But surrounding yourself with the right people can help you in so many ways. It can help you, they can be your cheerleaders and vice versa. It can help you in maybe gaining insight into an opportunity and even being somebody that they recommend for a job promotion, being the person that is recommended for a job opportunity or a job or for an interview or something like that. So it just really helps in establishing a great community. And I will say, some people think maybe it's not as easy as it may seem. And it does take some effort to meet people, to follow up, to establish connections. And I understand that, but it is well worth your time in doing so. So this week, I want to encourage you to start thinking about making connections. And in this next installment, I'm going to talk to you about ways that you can actually make connections and some examples for making connections. Okay, everybody, that's a wrap on this week's episode. I want to thank you for listening to the Sharing Passion and Purpose podcast. It means the world to me, and I'd love to connect with you. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Sharing Passion and Purpose, and Twitter at Passion Sharing. Also, if you like this podcast, it would mean a lot to me for you to subscribe, rate, and review it. And as always, all my show notes will be available on my website, sharingpassionandpurpose.com.